In this video, I'm about to show you 30 tea brands you need to stay away from and why, as well as 10 you should actually be drinking. Starting with number 30, Lipton Yellow Label Tea. Lipton Yellow Label is one of the most common teas in American kitchens, cheap, widely available, and long established. However, independent lab tests have repeatedly found pesticide residues in Lipton teas, including chemicals banned in Europe. The brand sources its tea from large industrial plantations that prioritize volume over quality, spraying chemicals to maintain high yields. The tea is then blended in massive facilities focused on uniform, color, and cost, not flavor or safety. Most of what ends up in the tea bags is dust and fannings, the leftover particles from higher quality leaves, resulting in a bitter, astringent taste that is masked with artificial flavor enhancers. Every cup is engineered to taste the same, stripping away the true essence of tea. Despite being owned by the multi-billion-dollar company Unilever, Lipton continues this practice because consumers keep buying it. The iconic yellow box represents corporate convenience, not trust, health, or quality. Number 29. Tetley Original. Tetley boasts over 180 years of expertise, but their tea bags hide a serious problem. In 2019, McGill University researchers discovered that a single plastic Tetley bag can release billions of microplastic particles into your cup when steeped. Tetley's plastic-based bags, sealed with polypropylene, exposed consumers to this plastic soup for years before any changes were made. Their new plant-based bags aren't fully biodegradable without industrial composting, which most people don't have access to. The tea itself is another concern. Sourced from bulk auctions, Tetley prioritizes cost over quality, resulting in inconsistent flavor and occasional pesticide residues. High-heat industrial drying further removes subtle flavors, leaving a flat, one-dimensional brew. Despite decades in the industry, Tetley's focus remains on volume and profit, not the safety, taste, or integrity of the tea. Consumers are left drinking a product engineered for convenience, not quality or health. Number 28. Twinings Every Day. Twinings may flaunt its British elegance, royal warrant, and tea-time charm, but the reality is far less refined. Their everyday line isn't celebrated for quality, it's the cheapest blend they could sell under the Twinings name. Sourcing is inconsistent, with leaves coming from multiple regions and brokers. One batch may have decent Assam, the next stale Vietnamese dust. Blending these together creates a lottery in every box. You never truly know what you're drinking. To maintain uniform flavor across these uneven batches, Twinings uses chemical flavor correction agents, ensuring each cup tastes similar regardless of leaf quality, like how fast food chains standardize taste worldwide. Behind it all, Twinings is owned by Associated British Foods, a giant conglomerate more focused on profit than tea. That polished packaging and royal logo? Marketing. The tea inside is mass-produced, inconsistent, and engineered for volume over quality, far from the sophisticated experience the brand promises. Number 27. Bigelow Constant Comment. Bigelow Constant Comment markets itself as a nostalgic, family recipe tea, but the flavor mostly comes from synthetic orange oil and artificial compounds, not real ingredients. The orange peel on the box has often sat in storage for months, losing natural oils, so chemicals are added to recreate the citrus taste. The spice notes, like cinnamon, are minimal. Most of the warm, cozy flavor comes from flavor enhancers that trick your palate. The black tea base is low-grade fannings, dusty and over-processed, chosen for cost rather than quality. Bigelow blends in flavoring to mask the harsh tannins, but oversteep it, and the bitterness becomes obvious. Despite marketing itself as a small, family-oriented brand, Bigelow is a major corporation worth hundreds of millions, taking industrial shortcuts like any other mass-market brand. That charming packaging and homemade story serve to distract from the reality. You're drinking engineered flavor, not genuine, high-quality tea. Number 26. Celestial Seasonings Sleepy Time. Celestial Seasonings Sleepy Time is marketed as a relaxing bedtime tea, but the reality is less soothing. The chamomile used comes from large-scale farms where yield is prioritized over purity, meaning pesticide and herbicide residues can end up in your cup. In 2013, independent tests even found chemicals not approved for consumption in the US, though the company claimed levels were within legal limits. Consistency is another issue. Some boxes help you unwind, while others leave you wide awake, because herb potency varies by harvest and the company doesn't standardize batches. To satisfy consumer expectations for bold flavor, Natural flavors are added, masking chamomile's subtle taste and creating a manufactured experience rather than genuine relaxation. Despite the Friendly Bear logo and cozy branding, Celestial Seasonings focuses on cost-cutting and convenience over quality. What you're drinking isn't a calming herbal infusion. It's a product engineered to sell boxes, not truly help you sleep. Number 25. Tazo Calm. Tazo Calm, now owned by Unilever, is less about actual herbal benefits and more about selling a lifestyle image. Marketed as soothing and premium, the tea relies heavily on flavoring to mask the weak and inconsistent herbal content. Chamomile, rose petals, and lemon balm are often minimal. What you taste is mostly artificial flavor, meant to create the illusion of a high-quality, calming tea. The price reflects branding, not ingredients. Consumers pay extra for fancy packaging and words like serenity, while the actual herbs are mid-tier and inconsistent. There's no standardization of active compounds or potency testing, so the effect can vary from box to box. Tazo's Calm claims rely on tradition and perception, not science. In reality, you're buying marketing, not consistent herbal benefits. For genuine relaxation, you need brands that prioritize herb quality over flashy branding. Tazo is not one of them. Number 24. Stash Premium Green. Stash markets its green tea as premium, but the reality is far from it. Stash Premium Green Tea is commodity-grade leaves sold at a high markup, relying on fancy packaging to create the illusion of quality. Green tea is delicate and loses flavor quickly, yet Stash sources from bulk suppliers and ships it through multiple warehouses, leaving it flat, stale, and papery by the time it reaches your cup. Consistency is another problem. One box might brew decently, the next could taste entirely different. Blending whatever is cheapest that week means quality control is minimal, making every purchase a gamble. Oxidation further degrades the tea, polyphenols break down, antioxidants diminish, and the vibrant, grassy flavor that green tea should have is lost. For those drinking green tea for health benefits, Stash fails to deliver. The only thing truly premium is the price you pay, not the taste, quality, or nutritional value. Number 23. Yogi Detox Tea. Detox teas don't actually detox your body. Your liver and kidneys handle that naturally. Yogi Detox Tea is marketed as cleansing, but it mainly contains diuretic and laxative herbs like dandelion, burdock root, and senna, which make you urinate or poop more. This only causes temporary water loss, not toxin removal, and regular use can create dependency or gut issues. The Ayurvedic branding is misleading. Words like traditional and holistic suggest ancient wisdom, but genuine Ayurvedic medicine doesn't promote mass-produced daily detox teas. Yogi repackages herbal bits into a product designed to sell, not to support real health. Herb quality is inconsistent, sourced from large suppliers with varying potency and potential pesticide contamination, and there's minimal third-party testing. Consumers are essentially trusting marketing over safety or efficacy. For actual detox support, your body's organs do the work. Skip the gimmicks and consult a doctor instead of relying on a tea bag. Number 22. Republic of Tea, Get Some Z's. Republic of Tea positions itself as a premium, wellness-focused brand, but Get Some Z's shows the reality. You're paying for branding, not effective sleep support. The blend chamomile, passion flower, and valerian root is underdosed, inconsistent, and unlikely to produce real sedative effects. Valerian, for instance, needs much higher amounts than a tea bag contains to work, but loading bags with enough would raise costs and worsen flavor. The $12 tin isn't buying better herbs, it's paying for packaging, marketing, and the brand image. Potency varies from batch to batch depending on harvest, storage, and processing, so some cups might feel relaxing while others do nothing. Republic of Tea doesn't standardize extracts, leaving consumers to gamble with every purchase. For real sleep support, underdosed herbal teas aren't enough. The brand sells the idea of serenity, not actual results, making the tea more placebo than remedy. Consult a healthcare professional for effective solutions. Number 21. Harney & Sons Paris. Harney & Sons markets itself as a luxury tea brand, with Paris, a black tea flavored with bergamot, vanilla, and caramel positioned as a sophisticated Parisian experience. In reality, the flavor comes from synthetic compounds, not natural ingredients. The bergamot isn't real essential oil, and the vanilla and caramel are artificial, similar to candy or coffee creamer flavorings. You're paying $18 for artificial flavoring and upscale packaging, not premium tea. The tea base is average, sourced from bulk auctions like mid-tier brands. Flavorings mask the fact that the tea itself is standard-grade black tea. Without them, it's nothing special. Marketing leans heavily into European elegance, creating the illusion of sophistication, but the product is factory-made, chemically flavored, and overpriced. For the same price or less, you can find teas with real bergamot, genuine vanilla, and higher quality leaves. Harney & Sons Paris is style over substance, a polished, expensive version of mediocrity rather than true luxury tea. Number 20. Trader Joe's Organic Green. Trader Joe's Organic Green Tea is popular for being affordable, organic, and carrying the Trader Joe's name. But the reality is more complicated. The tea isn't grown by the store. They source it in bulk from large suppliers in China. While Chinese tea can be excellent, Trader Joe's prioritizes volume and price, so quality varies widely from batch to batch. Organic only means no synthetic pesticides were used. It doesn't guarantee careful handling, proper storage, or good flavor. Green tea is delicate, sensitive to light, air, and moisture. Trader Joe's packs it in flimsy cardboard boxes, leaving it exposed on shelves under fluorescent lights. By the time it reaches your cup, polyphenols have oxidized and flavor has flattened, resulting in a grassy, bitter brew. While it's cheap and organic, the tea often sacrifices consistency, taste, and health benefits. Paying a bit more for better-handled green tea is a smarter choice for true flavor and quality. Number 19. Great Value Green Tea. Walmart's Great Value Green Tea is the epitome of cheap, low-quality tea. Instead of whole leaves, it uses leftover dust and fannings, the scraps other brands reject. These tiny particles release tannins quickly, giving a bitter, grassy taste from the first sip. The drying process makes things worse. High-heat industrial dryers strip out nuanced flavors, leaving a flat, one-dimensional bitterness that no honey or lemon can fix. Sourcing is another concern. Walmart contracts with the cheapest suppliers, often from large-scale farms with minimal quality control. You have no idea what pesticides were used, how the tea was stored, or how long it sat in warehouses before reaching your shelf. Green tea's health benefits, antioxidants, and polyphenols degrade over time, especially in low-quality, poorly stored leaves. By the time you drink Great Value Green Tea, those benefits are mostly gone. You're paying for cheap convenience, not flavor, quality, or health. Number 18. Arizona Green Tea Bags. Arizona, known for its sugary canned iced teas, brings the same cost-cutting approach to its tea bags, but without the sugar to mask it. The leaves are low-grade, mass-produced, and sourced from bulk suppliers, prioritizing volume over flavor. These bags are designed as a base for sweetness, not enjoyable plain tea. Steep one without sugar, and it's flat, astringent, and disappointing. The flavor packets that make the canned teas appealing are absent. Arizona isn't a tea company. It's a beverage brand focused on marketing, canning, and distribution. The tea bags are essentially a cash grab, repurposing their logo to sell low-quality leaves at a small profit. They rely on consumers expecting a sweet, fruity punch, but the plain product is just underwhelming tea. If you enjoy Arizona, stick to the cans. The tea bags won't recreate that experience. They deliver flavorless, low-quality tea, showing that Arizona's expertise isn't in brewing quality leaves, but in selling a brand image. Number 17. Salada Green Tea. Salada Green Tea relies on nostalgia and its long history, but age doesn't equal quality. The brand still uses outdated processing methods that over-extract tannins, leaving the tea harsh, bitter, and unpleasant. Green tea is supposed to be delicate and slightly sweet, but Salada tastes like punishment, no matter how carefully you brew it. Sourcing is another issue. The company buys from the cheapest suppliers each quarter, resulting in wildly inconsistent batches. One box might be drinkable, the next is unbearably astringent. Decades of this practice have perfected a system of sourcing cheap leaves, processing them quickly, packaging with nostalgia, and shipping without concern for quality. Marketing leans heavily on trusted since 1892, implying reliability, but in reality, Salada continues selling subpar tea because of brand recognition, not innovation. Today, there are far better options. Salada is old, not good, just a product that survived on habit, not merit. Number 16. Red Rose Original. Red Rose markets itself as a heritage brand, but the original blend is low quality and relies on familiarity, not flavor. The leaves are mostly fannings and dust the leftovers after higher grade tea is sold elsewhere. Packaged cheaply, these bags are flimsy, tear easily, and release bits of tea into your cup, leaving a weak, watery brew. Past concerns about adhesives and chemical leaching have hurt the brand's reputation, and even with changes, the packaging remains subpar. Corporate ownership has shifted multiple times, each change prioritizing cost-cutting over quality. Sourcing becomes cheaper, processing sloppier, and the consumer ends up with a product far removed from the tea it once was. Red Rose Original isn't about taste or care, it's about brand recognition and nostalgia. While older generations may have drunk it, today there are plenty of better teas on the shelf. You're paying for a name, not a genuinely crafted cup of tea. Number 15. PG Tips Original. PG Tips markets itself as a British tea icon, but its reputation doesn't match the quality. The pyramid bags, touted as innovative, are made from plastic mesh that releases microplastics when steeped, so you're drinking plastic along with your tea. The leaves themselves are commodity grade, sourced from bulk auctions, blended for consistency, and packed with marketing spin to seem premium. In reality, it's dust-grade tea that has often been sitting in warehouses, losing freshness and flavor. Taste-wise, PG Tips is harsh, astringent, and one-dimensional, designed to be masked with milk and sugar. Drinking it plain exposes the mediocrity beneath the branding. The company leverages British identity and nostalgia to sell an inferior product at an inflated price, giving the illusion of tradition and quality. For authentic British tea, small UK companies that prioritize leaf quality and proper processing are a far better choice. PG Tips delivers style over substance, not true craftsmanship. Number 14. Louisiane Iced Tea Bags. Louisiane is a southern staple, especially for sweet tea, but its iced tea bags are designed for sugar, not flavor. The tea is dust grade, processed in high-speed industrial dryers that strip out nuance, leaving a harsh, tannic base that only tastes palatable when drowned in sugar and ice. It's essentially a caffeine delivery system marketed as a regional tradition. The chemical drying process prioritizes speed and cost over taste, and the brand doesn't aim for a pleasant flavor on its own, knowing consumers will sweeten it heavily. Louisiane leans on southern sweet tea culture, but drinking it doesn't mean you're enjoying quality tea, it's just sugar-laden, low-grade leaves. If you want iced tea that actually tastes like tea, there are far better options that don't require a pound of sugar. Louisiane is cheap and familiar, but familiarity doesn't equal quality. It's convenient, not good. Number 13. Kroger Black Tea. Kroger Black Tea is a classic example of a private label product prioritizing cost over quality. Sourced from different third-party suppliers, the tea varies wildly from batch to batch. One box might be drinkable, the next tastes like cardboard. There's no consistency or accountability, just a focus on filling a price point. Kroger isn't in the tea business, it's in groceries. Their black tea is blended from whatever bulk leaves are cheapest, processed with minimal care, and packaged to turn a profit. Quality control is minimal, leaving you with a harsh, bitter brew that can even carry a metallic aftertaste. Essentially, Kroger Black Tea exists for convenience and low cost, not flavor or experience. It's the tea equivalent of generic, functional, but uninspiring. Budget-conscious shoppers might grab it, but cheap isn't the same as good, and you're sacrificing taste and quality for a small savings that doesn't deliver real value. Number 12. Lipton Diet Green Tea. Lipton Diet Green Tea is one of the most unnecessary products in the tea aisle. Green tea is naturally calorie-free, but Lipton created a diet version loaded with artificial sweeteners like sucralose and aspartame to appeal to people conditioned to seek zero-calorie products. These sweeteners can disrupt metabolism, increase cravings, and even contribute to weight gain, exactly the opposite of what consumers expect. The tea itself is low quality, dusty, overprocessed, and flat. Instead of improving the base tea, Lipton relies on fake sweetness and marketing to sell the illusion of a healthy, weight-conscious product. It's a cynical move designed to exploit diet culture, not to provide real value or quality. If you want green tea, the simplest and healthiest choice is regular green tea from a company that prioritizes quality. Add honey if you like sweetness. Lipton Diet Green Tea is unnecessary, artificial, and more about marketing than actual wellness. Number 11. Snapple Tea Bags. Snapple is known for sugary bottled iced teas, but their tea bags reveal the brand's lack of expertise in actual tea. These bags are low quality, with poor leaves and sloppy processing, designed for flavor masking rather than true tea enjoyment. Snapple sources for price and consistency, not quality, which works for factory drinks but fails when steeped in hot water at home. The result is thin, harsh, and one-dimensional tea, lacking depth or complexity. Snapple's fun, quirky brand identity doesn't translate to bags buyers expecting the bottled experience end up with a watery, disappointing brew. This product is a cynical brand extension meant to capitalize on Snapple's name, not to offer real value in the tea market. If you enjoy Snapple, stick to the bottles. For actual tea, choose a company that understands leaves, processing, and quality. Snapple tea bags are convenience over craft, proving that being a beverage brand isn't the same as being a tea brand. Number 10. Teavana Starbucks Jade Citrus Mint. Teavana was once a specialty tea brand, with stores offering a real tasting experience. But Starbucks bought it, closed the shops, and turned it into just another product line. Jade Citrus Mint illustrates the decline. On paper, it's green tea with spearmint, lemongrass, and lemon verbena. But in reality, it prioritizes Starbucks' friendly appeal over quality. The green tea base is weak, mint levels vary by batch, and the citrus herbs are bulk sourced to cut costs. Flavor consistency is low, and the tea lacks the depth or balance a specialty brand would provide. Meanwhile, Starbucks charges $7 to $8 per box for tea that likely costs pennies to produce, capitalizing on brand recognition rather than quality. Teavana used to represent premium loose-leaf teas and knowledgeable service, but now it's just mass market, corporate, and profit-driven. Jade Citrus Mint shows how a coffee company can dilute a tea brand, proving that Starbucks is not a true tea expert. Number 9. Bigelow I Love Lemon. Bigelow's I Love Lemon isn't really tea, it's a lemon-flavored product with some tea added. The dominant taste comes from citric acid and artificial lemon flavoring, not real lemon, overpowering the black tea base. The tea is just filler, there to carry the artificial citrus punch. The citric acid overload can irritate your stomach, damage tooth enamel, and leave a lingering chemical aftertaste. This product exists because bold, artificial flavors sell in America, not because it's good tea. Subtlety and quality were ignored in favor of maximum impact on the shelf. Bigelow could have made a classic lemon tea using real lemon peel or natural oil, but instead opted for cheap artificial additives. The result is a lab-made flavor experience rather than a soothing cup of tea. For a genuine lemon tea, squeezing fresh lemon into plain tea is healthier, tastier, and far less processed. Number 8. Celestial Seasonings Country Peach Passion. Celestial Seasonings Country Peach Passion promises a cozy, fruity experience, but what you're actually drinking is mostly artificial peach flavor. There's no real peach, just concentrated compounds designed to trick your taste buds. The tea tastes more like candy than fruit. The hibiscus base gives the tea its bright red color and tartness, but combined with the heavy peach flavor, it becomes harsh and overly sweet. It's far from the soothing, natural experience the packaging suggests. Worse, Celestial Seasonings has a history with pesticides. Independent tests in 2013 found residues, including some banned in the US. While they've claimed improvements, the trust is already shaken. Country Peach Passion represents the pitfalls of modern herbal tea: fake flavors, acidic bases, and marketing that oversells wholesomeness. For real peach tea, look for brands that use actual dried fruit. This one is designed to sell boxes, not provide quality. Number 7. Twinings Cold Infuse. Twinings Cold Infuse is a textbook example of a trend-chasing product that sacrifices quality for convenience. It's marketed as a way to make cold brew tea by just dropping a bag in water, but the reality is far from premium. The bag itself is problematic. To work in cold water, it uses a special material that can break apart, leaving bits floating in your drink or transferring odd flavors. It solves a problem that didn't really exist. Making iced tea doesn't need a gimmicky bag. Proper cold steeping works perfectly. Flavor is another issue. Cold water extracts tea poorly, so Twinings compensates with extra flavoring. The result? Weak, artificial tea that tastes more like flavored water than a real cup of tea. And the price? Higher than regular Twinings, for the same low-grade tea plus a gimmick. Cold Infuse is a shortcut product, designed to capitalize on trends rather than deliver quality. Skip it, you'll get better results with traditional brewing methods and save your money. Number 6. Lipton Immune Support. Lipton Immune Support Tea is a classic example of pandemic-era opportunism in a tea bag. The marketing screams, protect yourself, but the reality is far less impressive. The vitamins usually C and zinc are included in token amounts, far too low to have any meaningful effect. You'd get more benefit from a single orange or a proper supplement. Lipton relies on the immune support label to make you feel safe, while charging double for the same low-quality tea they've always sold. The tea itself is the usual dusty, overprocessed Lipton base. They toss in some citrus flavoring and sprinkle in the vitamins to justify the higher price, but it's purely cosmetic, a marketing gimmick disguised as health support. And let's be honest, this product preys on anxiety. It targets people worried about illness, promising reassurance that simply isn't there. If you want actual immune support, focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and proper supplements. Lipton isn't helping your immune system, it's helping their profits. Number 5. Yogi Bedtime. Yogi Bedtime tea is a textbook example of sleep tea marketing outperforming actual effectiveness. On paper, it looks promising: valerian root, chamomile, and other calming herbs. In reality, what you get is wildly inconsistent and overpriced. Valerian root can help with sleep, but only if it's fresh and properly dosed. Yogi sources theirs in bulk, so the potency varies from batch to batch. Some boxes might have enough active compounds to work, while others are essentially useless. Chamomile and the other herbs are mild relaxants at best. They're mostly there to fill the bag and make it look like a complete sleep solution. The tea's effectiveness relies heavily on placebo and routine, not the actual herbs. And yet, you're paying $5 to $6 for a box of hit-or-miss tea, with most of that cost going toward branding and packaging rather than quality ingredients. Yogi leverages the Ayurvedic label and wellness image, but natural doesn't automatically mean effective. If you struggle with sleep, see a healthcare provider. For a calming ritual, buy chamomile from a company that tests for potency. Yogi Bedtime isn't a reliable solution. It's a visually appealing product designed to sell, not to deliver consistent results. Number 4. Tazo Zen Green Tea. Tazo Zen Green Tea markets itself as a calming, mindful experience, perfect for meditation or yoga, but the reality is far less serene. The green tea base is bulk-sourced commodity-grade leaves, the same kind used across Tazo's line. It's not carefully selected, not premium, and definitely not worth the price. Some batches brew okay, but others taste harsh, grassy, or stale, reflecting inconsistent quality control. The added spearmint and lemongrass are intended to create a balanced flavor, but the proportions vary wildly. Sometimes the mint dominates, sometimes the lemongrass tastes artificial, and sometimes the cup is just muddled and confusing. It's clear the focus is on cost and speed, not taste or quality. Then there's the branding. Zen is a marketing gimmick. Tazo uses vaguely Asian imagery and mindfulness cues to sell a lifestyle, not a superior tea. Cultural appropriation meets corporate profit. In short, Tazo Zen Green Tea isn't calming. It's inconsistent leaves, overflavored herbs, and a marketing story that costs you more than it delivers. For true relaxation, buy from a brand that prioritizes quality and respects the cultures they reference. Number 3. Four Sigmatic Mushroom Tea. Four Sigmatic capitalized on the mushroom wellness trend, but their mushroom tea is a perfect example of hype over substance. While mushrooms like reishi, chaga, and lion's mane have real medicinal potential, Four Sigmatic's tea barely delivers any benefit. The doses in each bag are tiny, far below what research shows is effective. You're basically getting mushroom dust, not therapeutic amounts. Quality is another issue. The potency of medicinal mushrooms depends on growing conditions, which part of the mushroom is used, and the extraction process. Four Sigmatic provides zero transparency about any of this. You have no idea if you're getting high-quality extracts or low-grade leftovers that have been sitting in a warehouse. Then there's the price. A box costs $5 to $20, but the actual ingredient value is minimal. You're paying for branding, trendy packaging, and the illusion of biohacking your health. Real medicinal mushroom benefits come from properly dosed, high-quality products, not underdosed tea bags marketed to look like a health solution. If you want mushrooms for wellness, go with a company that offers third-party testing and transparent sourcing. Four Sigmatic's tea is all marketing, no substance. Number 2. Hailey's Slim Tea. Hailey's Slim Tea is a prime example of the weight loss tea scam. It doesn't help you burn fat or lose weight sustainably, it only makes you lose water and spend time in the bathroom. The main ingredient, senna, is a stimulant laxative that forces bowel movements, causing temporary weight loss from emptied intestines, not fat reduction. Repeated use can lead to dependency, where your digestive system stops functioning normally without it. Diuretic herbs like dandelion and juniper further strip water, tricking you into thinking the tea works, but the weight returns once you rehydrate. Long-term use carries serious health risks, including electrolyte imbalance, intestinal damage, and chronic constipation. Hylie's markets this product with images of slim, happy people preying on insecurity while offering no real benefit. True weight loss requires a caloric deficit, consistent exercise, and patience, not a tea bag. Hylie's Slim Tea is dangerous, ineffective, and purely a marketing ploy exploiting desperation. Number 1. Teami Blends Detox Pack. Teami Blends is the ultimate example of a dangerous wellness scam disguised as tea. Marketed as a detox and pushed by influencers, it targets young people with promises of weight loss and flat stomachs. The daytime tea is mostly filler, but the nighttime tea is packed with senna, a strong laxative that forces bowel movements. This causes temporary water and waist loss, not actual detoxing or fat loss, giving the illusion that the product works. Influencers showcase results while hiding the cramps, dependency risks, and the fact that any effects vanish once use stops. Teami preys on insecurity and body image issues, exploiting young consumers with flashy packaging and misleading marketing. Long-term use can lead to digestive damage, electrolyte imbalance, and hospitalization. Health organizations have warned against it, but the brand continues to profit. Teami Blends isn't tea, it's a harmful, ineffective product that should be avoided at all costs. But don't worry, it's not all bad news. Not every tea brand is cutting corners, lying to customers, or loading their products with fake flavors. Some companies actually care about quality, source responsibly, and make tea that's worth drinking, such as Number 10. Buddha Teas. Buddha Teas stands out in a crowded tea market by keeping things simple and honest. They focus on single-ingredient herbal teas, with no artificial flavoring, fillers, or gimmicky blends, just pure herbs like chamomile or peppermint. This transparency ensures that what's on the box is what you're actually drinking. A major highlight is their use of bleach-free, unbleached tea bags, avoiding chemicals that can leach into your cup, a small but meaningful detail showing the brand cares about quality. Buddha Teas also sources herbs carefully, emphasizing freshness and potency, and maintains transparency about which products are organic. Taste reflects this commitment. Herbs actually taste like themselves, not like dust or processed leftovers, which is a stark contrast to many mass-market teas. Pricing is fair, making quality herbal tea accessible without luxury markups. In a market full of overhyped, low-quality products, Buddha Teas offers clean, straightforward, and genuinely enjoyable tea that delivers on its promise. Number 9. Davidson's Organic Tea. Davidson's is a family-owned tea company that has been committed to quality and integrity since the 1970 seconds. Unlike many corporate tea brands chasing profits, Davidson's focuses on organic teas sourced from farms that genuinely follow organic practices. Their teas are rigorously tested for pesticides and contaminants, ensuring transparency and reliability. You always know what's in your cup. One of their standout features is bulk options, allowing you to buy just the right amount without wasting money, making it easy to try new varieties. Davidson's offers a wide range of teas, from classic black and green to herbal and specialty blends. With consistent quality across the board, a rarity in a market where even good brands can have off batches. Pricing is highly reasonable for organic tea, as you're paying for the product itself, not marketing or fancy packaging. Davidson's proves that clean, high-quality tea can be accessible and dependable, with a family-run approach that puts the tea first. Number 8. Hampstead Tea. Hampstead Tea is a UK-based company that takes organic and fair trade seriously. They source from biodynamic and organic tea estates, which means the farms are using sustainable practices that go beyond just avoiding pesticides. Biodynamic farming treats the farm as a living ecosystem, and it results in healthier soil, better plants, and higher quality tea. What I appreciate about Hampstead is their transparency. They tell you exactly where their tea comes from, which estates they work with, and how the farmers are treated. Fair trade is often just a label that companies use to charge more, but Hampstead actually follows through. The farmers they work with are paid fairly, and the quality of the tea reflects the care that goes into growing it. The teas themselves are excellent, full-flavored, well-balanced, and clearly made from whole leaves, not dust. Their Darjeeling and Assam blends are particularly good, with the kind of depth and complexity you only get from high-quality sourcing and careful processing. And while Hampstead isn't the cheapest option, the price is justified by the quality and the ethics behind the product. If you care about where your tea comes from and want to support companies that are doing things the right way, Hampstead is a solid choice. They're not perfect, but they're miles ahead of the corporate brands that dominate the market. Number 7. Choice Organic Teas. Choice Organic Teas has been around since the 1982, back when organic was still a fringe idea and most people had never heard of fair trade. They were pioneers in the organic tea movement, and they've stayed committed to those values even as the market has changed around them. All of their teas are USDA certified, organic, and fair trade certified, which means you're getting clean tea from farms that treat their workers fairly. The quality is consistent, not the flashiest or most complex teas you'll ever drink, but solid, reliable, and fairly priced. Their chai blends are particularly good, with real spices and a black tea base that actually has flavor. What I like about Choice is that they're not trying to be trendy or premium. They're just making good tea for everyday drinking, and they're doing it in a way that's sustainable and ethical. The packaging is simple, the prices are reasonable, and the tea does what it's supposed to do. It's not exciting, but it's honest. And in a market full of gimmicks, that's worth a lot. If you're looking for an affordable, organic option that you can drink every day without worrying about what's in it, Choice Organic Teas is a great place to start. Number 6. Frontier Co-op Tea. Frontier Co-op is a member-owned cooperative, which means the people who work there have a stake in the company's success. That structure tends to result in better quality control and more ethical business practices, and Frontier Co-op is proof of that. They've been selling herbs, spices, and teas for decades, and their tea selection is extensive, affordable, and high quality. One of the best things about Frontier is that they sell in bulk, which means you can buy exactly as much as you need without paying for fancy packaging or single-use tea bags. Their organic teas are tested for purity, and they're transparent about their sourcing. You're getting clean tea from farms that follow organic practices, and you're paying a fair price for it. The variety is huge, everything from classic black and green teas to herbals, chai blends, and specialty teas. And because it's bulk, you can experiment without spending a fortune. Want to try a new herbal blend? Buy an ounce and see if you like it. No commitment, no waste. Frontier Co-op isn't flashy, but they're reliable, ethical, and affordable. If you're serious about tea and you want to buy smart, this is one of the best options out there. Number 5. Pukka Herbs. Pukka is a UK company that specializes in organic herbal teas, and they've built their entire brand around Ayurvedic principles and environmental ethics. Every single one of their teas is organic, and they work with Fair Wild certified suppliers, which means the herbs are sustainably harvested from wild ecosystems without damaging the environment. The blends are thoughtfully crafted, and you can tell that Pukka actually understands herbalism. Their ingredients are chosen for both flavor and function, and the combinations make sense from both a taste and a wellness perspective. The 3 Mint blend, for example, is cooling and refreshing without being overpowering. The Turmeric Gold blend is warming and anti-inflammatory without tasting medicinal. Pukka also uses recyclable and compostable packaging, which is a big deal in an industry that generates a ton of waste. The tea bags themselves are plant-based and free from plastic, so you're not drinking microplastics with every cup. It's the kind of attention to detail that shows a company actually cares about sustainability, not just using it as a marketing buzzword. The price is a bit higher than mainstream brands, but you're paying for quality, ethics, and environmental responsibility. If you want herbal teas that taste good and come from a company that's doing things the right way, Pukka is worth every penny. Number 4. Rishi Tea and Botanicals. Rishi is a company that takes tea seriously, like really seriously. They source directly from organic farms and tea gardens. They have relationships with the growers, and they're transparent about where every tea comes from. This is the kind of company that sends people to Origin to taste and select teas, not just buying whatever's cheapest at a bulk auction. The quality is outstanding. Rishi's teas are full leaf, carefully processed, and packaged to preserve freshness. Their Japanese green teas are some of the best you can find outside of Japan, and their pu'er and oolong selections are impressive. These aren't teas you guzzle down without thinking, they're teas you sit with, steep properly, and actually taste. Rishi also offers a lot of educational resources on their website about how to brew tea, where it comes from, and what makes good tea good. They're not gatekeeping or being pretentious, they genuinely want people to understand and appreciate tea. That kind of passion and knowledge is rare in the industry. The price is higher, yes, but you're paying for expertise, direct trade relationships, and exceptional quality. If you're ready to move beyond supermarket tea and explore what good tea actually tastes like, Rishi is one of the best places to start. Number 3. Numi Organic Tea. Numi is one of those companies that's been doing things right from the beginning. They're certified organic, they're fair trade, and they're committed to sustainability in every part of their operation. Their packaging is compostable, they offset their carbon emissions, and they work directly with farming communities to ensure fair wages and good working conditions. The tea itself is excellent. Numi uses whole leaves, not dust or fannings, and you can see the difference in the cup. The flavors are clean, balanced, and true to what they're supposed to be. Their aged Earl Grey is a standout real bergamot oil, high-quality black tea, and just the right balance between citrus and tea. Their herbal blends are equally good, with real ingredients and no artificial flavoring. What I appreciate about Numi is that they're not just talking about ethics and sustainability, they're actually following through. They've been B Corp certified, which means they've met rigorous standards for social and environmental performance. It's not just marketing, it's baked into how they run the company. The price is fair for the quality you're getting. You're not paying luxury prices, but you're also not buying cheap tea disguised as premium. Numi is honest, transparent, and committed to making good tea in a way that's good for people and the planet. That's exactly what we should be supporting. Number 2, traditional medicinals, organic. Traditional Medicinals is hands down one of the best herbal tea companies out there, and they've earned that reputation by actually caring about herbalism, not just slapping herbal on a box and calling it a day. These are teas made by people who understand herbs, how they work, and how to source them responsibly. Every tea is USDA organic, and many of their herbs are Fair Wild certified, which means they're sustainably harvested without damaging wild ecosystems. Traditional Medicinals works with herbalists and botanists to create formulas that are both effective and safe, and they test every batch for purity and potency. This isn't guesswork, this is science-backed herbalism done right. Their throat coat tea, for example, is legitimately soothing and helpful when you're dealing with a sore throat. The ginger tea actually has enough ginger to make a difference. The peppermint tea tastes like real peppermint, not artificial flavoring. These are functional teas that do what they claim to do, and that's rare in an industry full of empty promises. Traditional Medicinals is also transparent about their sourcing and their relationships with growers. They publish a lot of information about where their herbs come from and how they're harvested, which is the kind of accountability every tea company should have, but most don't. The price is reasonable, especially considering the quality and the ethics behind the product. If you're looking for herbal teas that actually work and come from a company that knows what they're doing, Traditional Medicinals is the gold standard. Number 1, 2 Leaves and a Bud. 2 Leaves and a Bud is a small, woman-owned company that's been making quality tea since the late 1992, and they've stayed independent and committed to doing things right, even as the tea market has gotten more corporate and competitive. This is the kind of company that deserves your support, not because they're perfect, but because they're genuinely trying to make good tea and treat people fairly. The founder, Kara Sundlun, started the company after working in South Africa and seeing firsthand how tea workers were treated. She built 2 Leaves around the principles of fair wages, sustainable farming, and quality over profit. And unlike a lot of companies that make those claims, 2 Leaves actually follows through. They're certified organic, they source directly from farms they have relationships with, and they're transparent about their supply chain. The teas themselves are whole leaf, packed in pyramid sachets that give the leaves room to expand and release their full flavor. The black teas are robust and full-bodied. The green teas are fresh and vibrant. The chai blends are spicy and complex, made with real spices instead of flavoring. This is what tea is supposed to taste like when it's made by people who care. 2 Leaves also supports various social and environmental causes, from education programs in tea-growing regions to environmental conservation efforts. They're using their business as a force for good, and that's something worth supporting with your wallet. The price is fair, not the cheapest, but not luxury pricing either. You're paying for whole leaf quality, ethical sourcing, and a company that's doing business the right way. If you can only buy one brand from this list, make it 2 Leaves and a Bud. They're proof that good tea doesn't have to come from a corporation that only cares about profit. Sometimes, the best tea comes from someone who just really loves tea and wants to share that with the world.